answering some general social work Q&A. Come along with us.
Hi, my name is Abbe Vivian and I use she, her pronouns. I am currently in my final semester of the MSW program here at UW-Madison, and I am specializing in child, youth, and family welfare and a sub-focus in policy and administration. My current placement is at Briar Patch Youth Services for my MSW. For my BSW, I was placed at the National Association of Social Workers Wisconsin chapter.
My name is Ziheng Zhou. I am an international student. I'm currently in the Master of Social Work program of UW-Madison, and I'm a first-year student. I'm going to the health area in the second year. So my internship now is in mental health area, which is in Department of Health Service in Wisconsin, Children, Youth, and Family section. I deal with related mental health macro problems there.
Hi, my name is Kye Fields. I use they, them pronouns. I am in the second year of the master's program in social work at UW-Madison. I focus in aging and health here. And for my placement, I'm currently at the School of Social Work here this semester. Last semester, I was at DHS, the Department of Health Services, in the Office of Aging. And then last year, my first year of my MSW, I was at the Alzheimer's and Dementia Alliance of Wisconsin.
Hi, my name is Xinyue Zhang. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an international student here. I'm right now the first year of MSW student at UW-Madison. And my specialization is aging and health, and sub-focus area is policy and administration this year. So for my placement, I'm working at the area agency on aging right now.
Hi, my name is Francesca Ipsaro. I use she, her pronouns, and I am in the Bachelor of Social Work program. I am a senior, so I'm graduating in May 2024, and I have specialization in child, youth, and family welfare and a sub-focus in policy and administration. Next year, I will be doing the advanced generalist pathway in the Masters of Social Work program, and currently my internship is at End Domestic Abuse Wisconsin on their legal team.
To me, I think social work is ultimately about service. Not so much about helping people, but providing service to people and having a commitment of service for the entirety of your career in order to improve the lives of marginalized people.
I think social work means possibilities to me, because we learn a lot of, we learn about a lot of comprehensive courses. Like when I was in China, I was social work major as an undergraduate. We learned about management, we learned about economics, and also like there's a lot of things we need to learn. So I think with learning social work, it can really provide us with a broadened horizon or a broadened scope, and also a lot of possibilities that outside social work.
I think that social work has a lot of different definitions, but the most important thing for me in regard to social work is the collective work that you can do with others towards a common goal. I found my passion in social work because I feel that I'm very fortunate to work with people that have similar values and beliefs, and getting to work with others to improve lives of marginalized communities.
I think social work means making a difference, fighting for social justice for me, because like in my childhood, I've seen some like poverty or population or some marginalized, vulnerable populations. I have the eager to making changes for them. So yeah, that's something also important to me.
When I think of what social work means to me, I think of the reason why I joined social work, and that was mainly just because of seeing family experiences, specifically of my father immigrating to the United States, and kind of seeing how the immigration process can be really tough on families, and wanting to do more service in helping immigrants and other marginalized communities.
So my personal pathway in undergrad, I started out as an education major because I knew that I liked to work with kids. So I thought that that was the obvious choice. You know, working with kids, education, being a teacher, the obvious route. Learned very quickly that's not what I liked. The profession of being a teacher wasn't gonna fulfill the capacity that I wanted to play in helping youth and families. It missed a big aspect of the macro advocacy and the family piece for me. So I switched to psychology. That also wasn't a good fit, and then ended up with social work, and I stuck with that because I really enjoyed it.
So, I didn't choose social work at first when I was an undergraduate, but I fell in love with it after I studied for like several months. So that's why I choose to continue studying it in master program.
My first year at UW-Madison, I was majoring in psychology, but quickly found out that is not the pathway I'd like to take. So I switched my major to philosophy because I wanted to understand human behavior, but I felt that that lacked any sort of actionable things that I could do once I know that knowledge. So I switched to social work my junior year and applied to the Bachelor's of Social Work for UW-Madison, and then went on to apply for the master's as well, and found my passion working with older adults.
For my personal pathway, I got a bachelor degree of landscape architecture in China, but then I think I prefer to work with people, so I chose to study MSW. And after that, I think I really want to learn this profession in the origin place, which is US. So I came here to study a one-year program called Visiting International Student Program to see if I could get used to the US academic life and to say how the difference between, in the context between China and US. And I'm really interested in to say the difference and to say how a social work system works in US. So I applied for the MSW program here, and right now I'm in this MSW program.
So my personal pathway, I was accepted into my undergrad here at UW-Madison, and I was accepted under the pre-law major, so I had interest in political science as a degree, but after thinking about how feasible it was to go to law school after my undergrad, I decided to switch from political science to social work. And I did that because I took an intro social work class that introduced me to political social work and taught me that I could still do public policy work even in social work. So I started with a social welfare degree, and then my junior year of my undergrad, I applied for the BSW program, and now as a senior, I'm in the BSW program. I'll be graduating with the BSW and entering graduate school next semester.
So at UW-Madison specifically, there are like 2 or 3 classes that are really great to take if you are considering majoring in either social welfare or social work. There's Social Work 100, which is an intro. It's really just to kind of get your feet wet about like what social work is and the possibilities that there are. There's Social Work 205, which is an introduction to social work class as well for undergraduates, and that will talk about like historical context, the history of the social work profession. It will also towards the later half of the semester, you get to have weekly guest lectures that will come in and talk about their field in social work. So you get to see a vast different types of professions that people can have in social work.
You don't need to get a graduate degree for social work jobs, because with a BSW degree you can already do a lot of jobs related to social work. But if you have an MSW degree or an upper degree, you can do more jobs, because some jobs do need you have an MSW degree, or you can get paid more with this degree.
So I've taken several electives in my undergrad. Some of them you can take earlier on, and some of them you kind of need to have some prerequisites for. But to start, I took substance use disorder, social work 453, and that class was really fun to kind of learn the different ways that your brain works with different chemicals on different drugs and substances. And then I also took social work 578, which is a homelessness class, and it was a service-based learning class, which meant that I also had a placement. I did my placement at Catalyst for Change, which was a homelessness service agency, where I did case management and outreach services. And I also enjoyed social work 646, which was a child abuse and neglect course, which kind of did a deeper dive into CPS work. And then I am currently taking, this is a class for undergraduates and graduates, but it is a 600 level class. So that is social work 639, which is LGBTQ individuals and social welfare. So that's learning about working with LGBTQ populations.
I think the most impactful experiences that I have had in social work would have been for my BSW placement at NASW Wisconsin. I engaged in a lot of political social work at that time, sort of macro advocacy and lobbying. It's where I learned how to do that. During that time, I got the chance to meet some politicians. I was in a rally where I got to hear Barack Obama speak. I got to meet Pete Buttigieg. Several times I met Tammy Baldwin and a bunch of other people at those rallies, people who wanted to advocate for people and push policies that were going to help a lot of people within marginalized communities. And I think those would have been the coolest experiences that I had the privilege of having. So in social work, you can actually work in a bunch of different sectors. So you can be a hospital social worker, you can be a school social worker, you can be a medical social worker, you can work in corrections. My route for what I want to do is I want to stick within the macro sector of social work. So I would like to be like a political social worker and lobby and advocate for legislation that's going to help marginalized people.
So like many of my peers said, there's so many different jobs. One that I would love to talk about in social work is gerontology, since that is something that I will be going into. So that could include working in a hospital and focusing on the older population. It could include in-home caregivers. It could include doing research about the aging population. So there's lots of different aspects and avenues you can take, even just working within the gerontology field.
So for my specialization, I focus on aging and health. Maybe like for one possible job I could get is for the case managers, older adults case managers. They job would like to provide services like long-term case care for older adults. And another possible job is like community outreach specialist, to try to, it's something similar to what I'm doing right now at my placement. So it's kind of job trying to reach out diverse under-resourced community, try to include more older adults into the services, our program. We are not gonna just provide services to white older adults, but trying to include more.
So there are a lot of different jobs you can get in social work. A lot of my classmates have already talked about some that we might have not mentioned yet are social work in the criminal justice field and social work in the immigration field, which is something that I personally want to do. So in macro work, you can do a lot of public policy on different subjects that you're interested in, and one of them that I'm interested in is immigration, and that means that you can work at a state official building or you can work at a Capitol building. There are plenty of different places that you can do policy work in.
Yeah, definitely. I think social work can be a lasting career because there's so many opportunities to pivot into different sectors and in different workplaces and work with different professionals. I think social work will never get boring. I think if you burn yourself out in one sector, you can pivot to another one, and that might be a better fit for you. I think the main thing is you can do so many things within social work and still use the same degree to do them.
I absolutely believe that social work can be a lasting career. There are a plethora of different opportunities, jobs, different fields you can go into and still be a social worker. Like my colleague Abby said, there's medical social work, immigration social work, there's gerontology. There's just so many different things that you can do that you never really can get tired of the profession. And if you do, you can just go to either a micro level or switch to a macro level or even just change your field completely. And also there's so many opportunities to do continuous learning so you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. So it really is a profession that you're able to learn and grow throughout like the entirety of your career.